I took a hiatus. I took a break. Mama Love had to take a break after my birthday season. Across the pond, they call it their holiday when they are on vacation. It's a holiday. So my season took a lot of energy, and I had a lot going on. So I still have a lot going on. It's just now it's in a little better perpetuation and motion. I did not want to talk about the Super Bowl politics festivities prior to the actual I want to say conception, day of birth. What do you call it? The new arrival, the resurrection, really, because that was previously a life that we actually, I don't know, the public actually is so fickle in the support. I suppose it goes back to the fact that he actually did distribute money and checks to folks who will to this day be loyal. But I said I had no pony in the race. I said I had no qualms about either side. I picked apart her side. I picked apart his side. Red and Blue Pill talked about the blue light and the red light, the infrared and the what is the blue light? Blu-ray. It was just two different sides of the same coin, but the things that were brought up, women started standing up and having a voice, and once we got into, and I say we, I'm a female, once we got into the White House as a vice president, it cleared the path for some minds to be able to hold that thought of presidency. And even though it was, a last minute changing horses in the middle of the stream sort of thing, it raised women's voices again. It raised women's, okay, I'm not going to take this, and I'm not going to take this anymore, or whatever that phrase was, I've had enough of this crap and I'm not taking it anymore, especially since we started telling the truth more and more and more. All of these things that, when things are couched, previously it might have had a different connotation as to now, we done busted the churches out, the blacks and the white churches, the multicultural, if you using and abusing your energy, your power, we really getting into the mode of, my brother's keeper, big brother is here, all over the place. But in any case, One Love and Wellness, Love+Art equals wellness, Precious Mother Love season. I believe we in season 6 of Heart Happy Hour. Season 6 of Heart Happy Hour. I see somebody said something, or something is on the screen. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I am on my way to take care of some business this morning. The postpartum effect is, once because when your team wins the Super Bowl, that whole city is on fleek. I mean, it's on, oh man, because when DC, when the Commanders actually, we've been doing a really, really good, this season. So, any case, when you're when you have a pony in the race, you take sides at that point. But after that, okay, is the baby pretty or ugly? Okay, is the baby, we want to throw out the baby with the bathwater. But we got to live with this baby. We put this baby in office. We put this baby in enough of the baby stuff. But we actually feel like this is the person who would have the personality to deal with these global faces that we have to compete with. So if you're thinking on a global mindset, a universal, because hey, Elon Musk is in his back pocket, and all those ring kissers or whatever, what did that African, the Pope got down and kissed the shoes of that African papal person. But so like the first couple of people, all these major like Zuckerberg and all these people immediately calling in, after the concession. Yay, isn't that something, the concession? So whatever the case is, women have now become more vocal and more, my voice will be heard, even though we weren't at the presidential level per se, meaning, we were at vice presidency, but the voice level, am I in the right place? I think I have 4 more miles before I turn. Okay. We actually are being more vocal. We're not just, I'm not and I'm not going to take it anymore, right? So now, because women are almost, we were up at bat. We actually got to the plate. We just didn't hit a home run. But the fact is that, the fact that we stood up to the plate gave us a certain amount of credibility, gave us a certain amount of, oh yeah, take that, because there was a there was a neck and neckness that they allowed for us to visualize, for us to be affected by, for us to catch the wave of, we were definitely, that energy wave was definitely felt. So, but any case, because they got the bright lights and the dog and pony show, but the postpartum piece of it to me is that you got to look at this and really become, I'm not gonna say get in bed, but rub elbows and either way, I was going to be riding that pony to the bank. Not to say to rob anybody, but to say that they both had some value that they brought to what this economic, like, the markets, they are kissing rings too, basically. It's a lot of both sides had good points, and those points were made public, and those public points, they're out there, still going to be gathering some steam in grassroots, some upper level, some lower level ways. Anyway, so the afterlife, okay, after the party is the in the hotel lobby and so on and so on, right? So I think that, because there were a lot of us women and minority males position to lock elbows, and in that case, in my mind, in my book, that was solidifying some of our positioning. Like, does money have a color? I know it's green, but and I know he's a moneymaker. Regardless of his record of how he does or doesn't pay people. Who's calling me? I can't see who's calling me. Oh, ooh, that call made me really, really think. I apologize. I know folks are probably not still hanging with me, but if you are, thanks for hanging with me. I'm on the highway, so I really can't see who's saying what and whatnot, but love and wellness. So, I was going to ride that pony. I'm still riding the pony. Ride a painted pony, let the spinning wheel round. The chances of going around at this point, if you put your money in the right race, or lean your ladder against the right wall, or in the right way, or in the right place, because there's a lot of variables and factors that are involved with this. We as a people are now learning to listen a little more to, and I say people, but we have a big heart, and what do you call that? Integrity. Integrity plays a big part. But in addition to integrity, because I rather the devil that I know, or the person that's not really my friend, but I know enough factors about them to know which way they play, which way they're going to go when the wind blows. Knowing factors about the people in the race, the people in the game, having that inside scoop, like when you have all your fantasy football players, you know all their statistics. We know all of, the way they voted, or the way that, because she's got a heck of so there's a lot of wishy-washiness on both sides of whomever was going to be the winner. We had some fallout. We're licking our wounds, but the fact that we were even in the race in the first place gives us a lot of credibility, gives us a higher, it's just like I don't know, Dancing with the Stars. Like even the runner-ups are winners because we are now raising our voice a little more. And I hear tell, I'm listening to Black Magic 363, listening to all these brothers and sisters talking about, the age of Aquarius, the monarchy, the Big Mama, yeah, Big Mamas are now feeling like they back in the house in general, on GP. Big Mamas are these young sassy mommies that are now grown as grandmamas. These feisty females. We got a whole lot of fire pack. We are definitely, like Rosie the Riveter. We got in there. And the things that we were starting to bring up and starting to bring to the table and starting to couch in the new ways of couching things. I think that we are actually, our moods are changing now. Even though the first day or two, we probably were really licking our wounds, really not feeling the whole, the shift. It's immediately like, no longer are you pregnant. No longer do you have that baby in your belly. No longer are you, carrying and gestating that whole movement, but it was a movement, and the movement was effective enough. We had a presidential setup on Howard University campus, and now all of a sudden HBCUs are getting a lot of attention. And I say now, and all of a sudden, I don't really mean, like we weren't really in the game before, but now, she brought it to the national platform. Hey, a vice president can go to Howard University and get their education and step up to the plate on a presidential level. What? Yes. So, the way I look at it now, oh, she's some crackers. The way I look at us now is that we are really, really a voice to be reckoned with, a voice to be heard. We should be okay. I'm riding around in the parking lot looking for the best spot, and I know because I have arrived at my destination, it's going to take a few minutes for me to settle in and settle down and get my stuff in order. I got to let this lady who's walking at a normal pace. I'm riding behind her. That's never nice to be up on somebody's hiney. I think where I'm going to go is over here when they're walking, and the car goes much faster. So anyway, One Love and Wellness, Love plus Art equals Wellness, season 6, Heart Happy Hour. We're winding down. I had a few things I wanted to talk about. The postpartum afterlife. I'm telling you, in my mind, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, we gave birth to a movement that is not standing still. We have resurrected a former president, this new, I was going to say monster, but there is a lot of, oh gosh, I don't think I'm in the right place yet. Where should I go? Okay. I really think that we're proving, we're knocking down walls. We are bringing new players into the game. We are showing ourselves to be approved. And yeah, all kinds of cards were pulled in these, the black card pulled up, and that's a thing. I am a patron at a few retail places where there are Indians that are owning these places, and they actually, when she started getting into the race, they actually were a lot more kindred spirited to us. So she bridged a gap of people who were previously, they may not have considered themselves black, perhaps in their country, the darker skinned Indian, because they all melanated looking. I mean, melanated, with some tinge into the skin. So, but the gap was to some degree bridged on that note, because I never really considered myself. Well, I mean, yeah, I considered myself part of the Aboriginal or the American Indian part of it. You know, I consider that. I see a space that I might want to. I have to be in the right space before I conduct myself. So, I really feel like that was a leg up for us, for not only women, black women, and Indian women. So the male Indians related to me a lot different, a lot better, a lot more. Let me come out of this. A lot more. Mm, I just felt a more kindred energy. They were more willing to engage. Because they like to stick to their own culture. And so all of a sudden, that may have broadened their cultural perspective of what's inclusive and what potentially could be of marital material. Hey, I don't know. But I do know, um, and that's interesting that she would choose to go to Howard. And I don't know, there's a lot of pieces that had gotten switched around in her life as far as, grandmother and photos and da 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 da. So I don't know exactly all of what was, you know, actual and factual, but I definitely know that it's definitely I think this is the aisle that I want to be in, and I can put myself in position shortly. So, One Love and Wellness, thanks for joining me for some of these things that I wanted to be able to talk about. I did have some notes, and you know what? Now that I'm stopped, let's pull some of these notes out, because previously, like I sun gaze, and there's some gems that come from my sun gazing. This was just fresh manna of what came to my mind as I turned on the live, because I've been feeling, I did not want to take sides. I enjoy watching a good football game. I enjoy football. I enjoy the Super Bowl. I never am one to take sides, though. I just want to see a good game. And in this case, we had a good game. We had both sides of the coin being covered. Yeah, it's the same coin, but we got into some different nooks and crannies, because again, there were really no answers, but the thoughts and ideas and the seeds and the energies were interjected. So yes, we had a lot of questions. Yes, we are asking questions, but you know, I know you say the proof is in the pudding, in the pudding, in the pudding. Ooh, we got some stuff coming up. Some real big questions are still hanging out there. I mean, there's some connections that come with, based on the business that's being conducted, that has been being conducted by Trump, aside from presidential, which is, does he still keep up his business? It seems like, last time he gave his sons some specific roles, and, hopefully they were able to, put themselves into a better position over these last 4 years so that they can maintain a lot of whatever is required of in the absence of his leadership. I mean, he's been fighting these battles. So I don't have a pony in the race. I'm definitely going to hitch my wagon to the money train, because there's a lot to be said for what's now of value to this whole climate change. I mean, he's definitely a big proponent of how clearly we see things, because he can do things in our face, and other stuff was done in our face, but how well we see it now is like, the cloaks are coming down, the veils are being ripped from the eyes. There are people who are having to, how they say, don't, if you, viewer discretion is advised, because now we can make choices based on, more of more information that we know could be um, uh, a part of the equation. Okay, so I recently started getting into, like, how do I feel about, like, what's the climate like like yesterday, and my I was talking about my sun meditations. I was beginning to talk about my sun meditations. So my meditations, and here I am in the sun, one love and wellness. I love it. I love it. Oh my God, that feels good. Yes, yes, yes. And at this hour, I don't think it's a good idea to gaze into it. The energy is so strong. And even though I'm building up my gazing muscle, I do think that there is a burnout place, a place where you could burn out if you try to absorb too much at once. And that's basically what it is. How much light can I let in at one time without overloading my senses, which I have done before, which has been done before. I was in a meditation place. I had come across this being that was on an ark. I want to talk about that too, the Ark of the Covenant. There was a being on the middle, and it was a ball of light, and the being said, do not look upon me. And I looked upon them, and as I looked upon them, my brain was scattered, and my pieces, my marbles, scattered everywhere, and my little pieces of light had to be this little light of mine. I had to bring those lights back into divine unity. And as I said before, I have taken, some of that light, and I think I'll never get some of that light back, and I have some new light as a result of that. But I was saying that I'm having feelings that are different after this race. After the after effects, the afterlife I'm feeling is that we people are interacting, even the Europeans, because I'm in a public place, I'm in a public eye, I'm there often in a very public way, and my interaction is very authentic. I'm me, 100, 1,000% me. And so, and they know, I'm usually decked out in my crystals and my copper. My latest and my greatest is using these African glass beads, these toko beads. So I pull in energy in a lot of ways. I got my red glasses on. I pull in energy in a lot of ways. I've got the snake skin energy on my headdress. I pull in energy in lots of ways. My curls, my antennas, my feelers. I'm putting feelers out there. My feelers are saying that the vibe is definitely becoming, we're a little more allowing of each other, a little more accepting of each other, a little more, there's a little more of a conglomerate or homogenizing or harmonizing. There's a lot more, and this is just initially, because when January comes, remember the 6th of January last year, and that actually is a very cosmological um, um, hotspot. That day, the 12 days of Christmas really starts on the day of Christmas, which is, the winter solstice. So the cosmology of the significance of, what that date represents, in for now, in history, him, an uprising, but and I've been talking all year about the, every month we have a Christmas, or whenever our sun sign is in the moon, we experience a 2.5 day of the Christos actively seeking a way to, it's like a monthly period. It's like it's sloughing off that open period, that time of open season. It is a time when we are um, more fertile. Our energy, the moon lines up with the energy that we would be receiving And oh gosh, these cars. So the person next to me has moved twice. So, and I'm sitting here still rapping and rolling. But yeah, it seems as though we are having, my feelers are feeling, I'm sensing, I'm seeing that we're gelling a lot better, because that was a lot. The father was in the birth room, the mother was giving birth. There was a lot of cigar smoking afterwards. People are definitely, we're having to, we still, whether I wear a red shirt or an orange shirt, because maybe I was really Cornell West, or maybe whatever the other colors are, it doesn't matter. We are still players in the game. We still have some skin in the game. Because it's definitely a lot that give me five on the black hand side. In the whole got soul. We put the soul in the race, you know, and it was a female melanated person. And so I feel like, our afterlife, this is now giving birth to a new woman's movement, a new movement where we will be recognized as our voice has some value. So, and still, yes, he was the coochie tickler. Yes, he was the, Miss America, whatever. It was sensationalized like it was WWF stuff. It won't overheat anymore. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But thanks for joining me. One Love and Wellness, Love plus Art equals Wellness, Heart Happy Hour, season 6. And it is a climate change that has occurred, and I am hoping that the weather continues, that we continue, because since the so now it was beautiful weather on the day of the election. Okay, beautiful weather on that day. And so now, in addition to so now these last couple of days, it's been a lot of sunshine, a lot of good weather. Like, it was tumultuous to get here. There was a lot of weather occurrences that, our emotions were stirring up. So now perhaps we can harmonize, come on, look, Kamalalize, harmonize. I don't know. Can we all just get along and hope for the blessed? Okay. So postpartum afterlife is, to me, we birthed, there was something that I said the other day. So a seed, when you plant a seed, that's death. When you plant it in, that's burial. When you put it in the dirt, that's burial. And then the resurrection is it springing to new life, or it's springing alive. So I see as, the seeds that was planted, we burying the hatchet, and we're going to see what fruit, trees, what trees are going to be bearing fruits, and what fruits will be poisonous, and what fruits will actually be nutritious and energize the process. Which ones can we make some paper out of? Which ones can we? Because each one of these events, we're a commercial company. I mean, corporation. We're a commercial country. So I could see us commercializing a lot of this whole politics, whatever your paraphernalia that you wore, whatever, all these markets, we're, just the new things that we can tap into, the space odyssey, Fantasyland, comic book era. We're into, that the MAGA. That's great. Let's have new slogans. Let's energize these new programs. Let's give ourselves a shot in the arm for being the kind of country that stands up and puts our people on trial for doing crazy stuff in the public eye. Not only in the public eye. I mean, you got New York, you got Diddy, you got Abercrombie, you got we bring people to, we've been calling people to the carpet on some stuff, but now let's see what this, because there's a certain amount of the electoral vote is really what made the difference. But there's still a certain amount of coverage that he has that fills in some gaps that nobody else could be filling in. Those are some big shoes. Kamala could not, a female size foot versus a man's foot size. I'm very serious about our image. We could have shot in the arm with that. No Jabberwocky. But we get a shot in the arm. And so I'm very hopeful. So another phone call, but that's all right. One Love and Wellness. Let me just, let's put on our thinking caps and put our heads in the game. And let's get ourselves, start riding some of these ponies to the bank. Okay? Let's hitch our wagon to the money trail. Let's put ourselves in the position that evens out the playing field for us to become competitors. Let's be on the same teams with some folks that actually do the damn thing. Let's be partners, co-workers, colleagues, teammates. Let's click up. Let's team up. Let's Now the tribe is different. Okay? So yes, I am a chiefess, and yes, I do have a grassroots, inner circle, nuclear family. But blood. You know how stick your finger and you become blood sisters or brothers. There's some magic in that too. So if you align yourself with some folks that have had or that do have some of the right things, whatever those things are, to put you in the position of pushing yourselves forward and moving yourselves upward in a win-win fashion, in a win-win style, in a I win you win, just like that type thing. Because I don't see us putting good money after bad money. So I see us learning something from those previous episodes. They were epic episodes. I see us being dealing with some cleaning up some messes, but I still see us being on top of our game. We've now come through enough of these uh, um, events that we now know. There's a certain amount of puppetry. There's a certain amount of smoke and mirrors. There's a certain amount of sleight of hand. There's a certain amount of a lot of things that we're just not going to allow ourselves to be hoodwinked by. The blinders are off. And we know that if we're teaming up with, we know what we're dealing with now. So don't act like you don't know. And things are. There is a certain amount of brand new. He acting brand new. There's a certain amount of brand new because you got to go to certain places that you weren't frequenting as much to get the grassroots, getting to the nooks and crannies, to get to, where you're holding hands with some folks that, because, it was said that there was an uptick of male votership in the Nixon era. But Nixon, I am not a crook, if but he aligned with a lot of, and we're the ones that are the most, we are the batteries that are in those cells. So if we hitch if we connect and we start jump starting into position with uh uh energizing that train, then because there isn't a kindred, there's an accordance, there is, we all crooks together kind of thing. So the black man knows the plight and has some I don't know, I won't say kindred spiritness, but has some affinity towards and knows that what that plight is, how, yes, he's there's a potential for him to go to jail, but how cold is it that you're gonna rise to such a position where you can pardon your doggone self? Big ass kahunas, big kahunas, man, basketball court, global size kahunas. So, in any case, one love and wellness, fam. Let's get out there on the court. Let's hoop it up. Let's jump through some hoops and make some baskets. Ashe fam. I want to send a shout out to all the camps that I've crossed and graced recently on my radio tour. I was on Eye of the City. I'll be back on Eye of the City. I was on Soulful Sundays. I'll be back on Soulful Sundays this Sunday as well. So there's a lot going on, and let's get out there, and let's take it to the bridge, take it to the stadium. Let's connect with the Ark of the Covenant. Let's team up with the sun. We're going into the winter solstice. There's some cosmologicalness that's going on that we should line up with as well. So I'm just saying now, let's be on all fours. Let's cover all the corners. Let's get all ventricles of the heart pumping. And I say all because there's some that are seen and unseen. How about that? You know, let's stop being chicken hearted. Let's, walk, walk, chicken. Let's not be the chicken, that we have been eating for so many generations. Let's stop being that chicken heart, eating the gizzards and all that stuff. Does that, let's energize with the right stuff. And let's convert that energy. Let's phoenix that energy. Let's rise with a new. Let's replace the old with the new, in the new wineskin. Let's see what the skin is on the skinny is on this. All right, that's it. That's all. And chicken wing. I'll play that for you guys next time. Ashe, One Love, season 6. Mama Love. I'm back at it. I'm gonna come to you back and forth as quickly as I can with all these jewels and treasures that I have to drop. Hope you picked up some of it. Like, share, and subscribe. If you would, I would certainly appreciate the love. All right. Where's the X? X marks the spot. Go get the treasures. Yes. Success.